Is it just me, or have things been strange around here lately? I've been busy in the shop working on some other projects, and add that to some bad weather as well as like a global pandemic, and progress has been a little slow on the truck this week. But here's what I have gotten done. Non-essential businesses are currently shut down in my part of the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I'm obviously not an essential business, but I work alone in a barn, so I'm able to continue to come in and work on my own time. But I don't live in a bubble, and there's definitely all the outside forces and the pressure of this are being felt here as well. What are considered essential businesses are still open, like hardware stores and supermarkets and whatnot. So at the beginning of this sort of quarantine period, I went down to Logan Steel, who was still open, and decided to stock up on the steel I need to make the tailgate of my truck. I didn't want to run the risk of not being able to get it later and then be stuck with nothing to make. Again, to remind you, this whole tailgate is going to fold open and double as a stage, and my buddy Matt was going to help me put it together, but now we're thinking that maybe we shouldn't spend that much time in close quarters working together. So, you know, everything's just slowing down, and we're adjusting to a new world. I'm hoping that I'll be able to use this truck sometime in my lifetime and go see people again. I know this whole mess is very frustrating and confusing, but I do think it's important for us to consider others and really try to work as a planet to beat this. Not just as a bunch of nations or individuals trying to protect themselves and their immediate others. You know, I see this as good practice for future alien invasions and other future global issues that we're going to have to deal with as a people and not as a bunch of tribes. I had Vance and our friend Dennis with me for a few hours, and that came in handy because I needed to remove the garage door tracks from the truck, which had a nut on one side and a bolt on the other of the truck, and my arms are just not long enough to reach around, so I had the boys help me out and taught them a little bit about using a screw gun and ladder safety. In the last episode, I showed you all those pallets and the hollow core doors that I had collected to start doing some of the interior work. I do need to do some other stuff in the truck before I get to that, but I can start processing that material. I spent a little bit of time taking down the pallets on my own on one day, and when I was showing Vance what I had done, he got real excited about it and wanted to use the air denailer, so he helped me do the second stack, and we flew through it. With the two of us working together, it took us almost no time at all. Buddy, we're killing it. How you gotta do that? To the foot? Hang on. To the foot. No, there. To the foot. I gotcha. And then we also started to clean up and take apart the hollow core doors, which is another one of Vance's favorite chores to do around here. just everywhere you walk, you jingle. Just go outside or something if you got the jingle. Close the door tight. Thank you.
I want to take a minute to talk about product placement.
I want to take a minute to talk about product placement.
I want to take a minute to talk about product placement.
I bet you didn't know this, but you know the famous Altamira cave paintings of like the hand? Some of the oldest. Those are actually advertisements for gloves. Advertisements are part of our daily life and they are unavoidable. But us content creators, we hold all the power and the responsibility to decide what that landscape looks like. When I started my channel 7 years ago, I refused to turn on Google ads and I didn't take advertisements or sponsorships or anything. This is like swimming upstream with both hands tied behind your back. About 3 or 4 years ago, I asked my subscribers for permission to open up the floodgates, and since then I've had Google ads and I have done sponsored content like this video series. In the early days I made a few mistakes, you know, nothing catastrophic, I didn't back any crooked businesses or anything, but there's a few videos that I'm not proud of and a few relationships that I wished I didn't pursue. And so I'm here now with a better understanding of how to go forward in this process, and I want to share that with you and anybody who will listen. We've all seen our favorite YouTubers like tout brands and then, you know, privately or offline or later, publicly even sometimes recant those products. It's gonna happen and it's unavoidable, but we can do a lot more to eliminate that sort of stuff. Selfishly, my reputation and my conscience are worth more than money, always. And I have a responsibility to myself to carefully select the companies that I work with. I also have a responsibility to you who watches my videos. Now I admit that I don't really make them for you, I make them for myself, but if I'm gonna get paid by an advertiser, then it gets more complicated. All three of us have to be satisfied with the transaction. You, me, and the advertiser. For me to force video games and mattress ads down your eye holes while you watch my content doesn't really make sense to me unless I'm making a project that has something to do with video games or mattresses. And at the same token, only showing tools that neither of us really need or can afford doesn't help either. If a company contacts you and they want to pay you to promote their product, you can say no. Think about yourself and your audience and whether there's any value to this beyond just quickly grabbing some cash. Don't be afraid to say no. Not sure? Take a minute to research them. Do a little Google search. See if they've ever been in any kind of scandal or what people think of their product. Think for a minute about whether this is something that you want to attach your name to forever, because the internet's forever. That's not to say that you're responsible for this company's future or past transgressions, but the more you research and understand who you're going to be working with, the better chance you have of avoiding that situation. And you may look compliant, which is still pretty bad. You'll hear a lot of times that content creators will say like, well, wait for the company to call you, but I look at it the completely opposite way. I almost only work with companies where I call them first. What I do is I seek out companies that make things that are going to help me, and then I try to find people I can have a symbiotic relationship with where I can help them, they can help me, and preferably they're people I like and I want to hang around with. In this series, my advertisers, or my coworkers, are a couple of my regular contributors that I've developed a pretty strong bond and relationship with. And I'm also reaching out to new companies to bring into the fray that I think are people and companies that will benefit all of us. So yep, I'm going to tell you about companies. There's going to be sponsorships and product placements in this, but they're all going to make sense to the build, and they're all going to be companies and people and products that I really do believe in, not just some quick cash grab. And I can guarantee you that this project would 100% not happen without them. I reached out to them, I pitched them the idea, and these are all, again, friends and coworkers of mine that liked this idea, liked the concept, and said, we want to help make this content happen because they believe that it is something that will be interesting and beneficial for all of us, not just them, not just me, but you too. And the battery was dead. So little truck is gonna save big truck. But I'm gonna need your help. Go ahead, put your foot on it. Yep, about there. You wanna hold it there. All right, you did it. You jump start the truck.
Because of COVID-19.
Oh, you're right. We shouldn't. Here, elbow bump. I think what killed the battery is I hooked up the winch and I had it hooked to this battery terminal. I guess it was just draining it the whole time, so I need to put a switch on there. The whole reason we even noticed the battery was dead is because Vance wanted to do this. Not a lot of progress on the actual truck compared to last week, but we are closer to making things happen and, you know, now being sort of shut down, locked in, and most of my work in the shop coming near completion. That's going to give me more time to just start digging and doing it, and I have most of the materials here already. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you the next time. By the way, this week's title for this vlog is a deep cut in the pun department.